then. I do hope you're all well, and I do hope you all had a fantastic weekend as well. Now, our avid Brexiters, really just bad winners. That was the analysis of SNP MP Alan Smith, as he was harumphing around the nonsense that is Brexit. Well, Tory MP Robin Miller got rather salty about the fact that the facts that he was making were making his Brexit utopia look like an absolute nightmare, and pulled out an old favourite to show a Brexit benefit.
I do not agree with the premise or intent of this legislation, but it's the content of this legislation that's going to come back to haunt this government really fast. In exactly the same way as so many other mistakes which were harumphed to the rafters in this House came back to haunt the very government that tries to deny that it had anything to do with them.
Harumphed. I love that word. What a great word that is, isn't it? Harumphed.
Happily.
He makes some very interesting and thoughtful points, but I would just like to ask him, how then did leaving the European Medicines Agency, how then has that come back to haunt this country, given the fact that we were free to invest in a vaccine, creating a vaccine which has benefited others, because we weren't part of it?
That old chestnut.
Well, I'm glad he mentions that canard that's as often quoted as if the absence of the European Medicines Agency. The European Medicines Agency had 700 jobs in London which were lost from that. There's a starter. There was also absolutely nothing in the UK's response to COVID that membership or otherwise of that Medicines Agency hindered. And I think it really is important to get that point on. It's perfectly legitimate to want to leave the EU. It's perfectly legitimate to want to leave the EU Medicines Agency, but let's not claim successes that were predicated on things that they weren't. So what I find so objectionable about this bill, Mr. Deputy Speaker, is that it's so unnecessary. I say I'm not interested in fighting old battles. I'm really not. But for the people who wanted to vote leave and take back control of our laws, etc., well, you won. It happened. Get over it.
Hallelujah. I'm so glad somebody said that in there, because I keep saying to people like Ben Habib, when he's constantly moaning and moaning and moaning, I thought you knew what you voted for, Ben. You won. Get over it.
Single piece. Every single piece. Yeah, they're not so much, Mr. Deputy Speaker, they're not so much bad losers as bad winners. But, Mr. Deputy Speaker, every single law, regulation, standard, however derived via the EU channels over the long history of the UK's involvement in it, is subject to this House, is subject to this government.
Yeah.
Right now. Right now. Any legislative instrument that the UK government wants to amend, repeal, bin, whatever, is open to that authority in this House right now.
Exactly.
So in this bill, I think we have a deeply ideological mistake.
Yep.
And I would urge colleagues to, even at this stage, think hard.
Now, there's a tiny flaw in your plan, Alan Smith. Thinking is very hard for these extreme Brexiteering government. Also, if that's the only Brexit benefit you can muster up, the medicine agency nonsense as a reason to leave the biggest trading bloc on the planet, then that's just a pretty poor choice. It is. We all know we could have done it while we were in. But now you might be saying, DB, I saw this earlier today. Why are you showing it? Well, a couple of reasons. First reason is not everybody will want to watch a 16-minute speech. And secondly, in this video, I just wanted to let you know that in the next 3 weeks, I'll be doing a course. So if for whatever reason I don't produce any content on a day, don't worry, I haven't abandoned you. I just might be too busy with this course, or I might be suffering from burnout, so I might take the odd day off here and there. So I just thought I'd give you the opportunity to let you in on the situation. But also, I just want to say a massive thank you to you all. There's 15,000 subscribers. I'm just incredibly humbled. So I just wanted to, just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm just still can't have to pinch myself sometimes now. But anyway, what did you think about the Alan Smith speech? Just, what do you think? Let me know down below anyway. And if you haven't seen the speech, I'll leave a link somewhere in wherever, or in the description box, or somewhere up here. And I'll just leave the video here, and I shall bid you farewell and take care, my friends.